Hi, BookTube. It's Gina. Happy Friday. I hope you were all doing well. I wanted to do a quick Friday reads today and just do a little catch up, talk to you about my week and the books that I have finished and a few other things because it has been a busy week for me. And normally, I don't really like being busy. I have structured my life in a way that has made it possible for me to generally have the downtime that I need as an easily overwhelmed and introverted person to be taking care of myself. But this week has just been one of those weeks where everything seemed to pile up, and it was very good things that piled up. So I did want to share those with you because first of all, I am planning still for my vacation. So I'm going to Las Vegas on Sunday with my sisters. And so I'm trying to just wrap up some things for that, wrap up some work things that I need to get done before I go, which I think is adding on a little bit of that pressure to wrap up some things that I won't have time to do next week while I'm on vacation. And that has been really fun. Also this week, I went back to the gym. So I went to a couple classes and I worked out with a personal trainer, which was fantastic, but of course takes up some time in the day, but is wonderful. And then last night, you guys, was Shakespeare in the Park. So Shakespeare in the Park came back to my area. And so we did a picnic last night and we went and saw Comedy of Errors, and it was hilarious. And they only had 5 cast members. And so in addition to being twins, which is confusing, the twins sometimes played each other and other cast members played the twins when there weren't enough people around. So it was like, but I've seen it before, so I sort of knew what to expect, and it was wonderful. I love Shakespeare in the Park. It's so much fun. We took a picnic, we made some little wine spritzers, and it was absolutely fantastic. It was weird. It's my first time being in a big group of people since the pandemic hit, and so it felt a little bit odd. I think that's causing a little bit of, it's a little anxiety provoking in a small way. And I think just the realization that the pandemic is kind of, things are creeping back up, has been a little bit deflating this week, which has been always weighs heavily on me when I know that people are getting sick and dying. Crazy, isn't it? So anyway, that's been my week. Just non-bookish things. Now, bookish things. So I have had some fun book purchases this week. I got some mail, first of all, from AJ Dunn, whose channel I will link down below. They sent me a book. So I knew this was coming. I mentioned something and they were like, I'll send you a copy of my book. So I've been waiting very excitedly for this. I didn't show anything there. I'm opening up some book mail, and look at this cutie patootie thing. October Jones, The Lightning Pines Mysteries. Isn't that fantastic? I'm gonna start a collection of books that I can squeeze out of my YouTube friends because there are so many people on here that are wonderful writers, and this is so adorable. Look at the back cover. Look at that group of friends. Doesn't that look wonderful? So I'm very excited to read this. I might even take it on vacation with me because I am taking a stack of books to Las Vegas. Even though I read on my Kindle a lot, I like to read a paper book when I'm at the pool. I don't like to take my Kindle because I don't have to worry about it if I'm swimming or going for lunch or something. And people generally don't steal books yet, knock on wood, right? So this is my first book I wanted to share with you. I'm so excited about that. And then I went to the Half Price bookstore last weekend and bought some books to prepare for Book Trek 2021. So if you're not familiar with that, Revenant Reads is hosting Book Trek 2021 with a few other YouTubers. I am one of them, and we're going to read at least one book, probably more, from each of the Star Trek series for a month in the rest of the year. So in August, we're going to be reading from the original series, which I have never done before. I've watched the Star Trek series, and if you've been following my channel at all, you know I've been rewatching all of the episodes from start to finish, but I've never read any of the books, so I'm so excited about this. The first one I got is World Without End. Is that not fantastic cover? By Joe Haldeman. The second is Mud's Angels by J.A. Lawrence. Now this is probably my favorite cover. I'm a big Harry Mudd fan, and I think this is just going to be a really fun read. I also got Trek to Mad World by Stephen Golden, and another Joe Haldeman, Planet of Judgment. So these are the ones that I bought at Half Price Books that I found, and I just liked these covers, so I grabbed all the ones that were in these cute sort of 70s, 80s editions. I also bought a couple on my Kindle. So I already forgot what it's called, Strangers in the Sky, I believe, and Sarek. Strangers in the Sky is, I think, the first one in a series, but there are 8,000 series, so it's the first one in a series. I'm not exactly sure which one, but I figured since I haven't read any before that might be a good one to start out with. So I'm going to give that one a try, probably. I'm not sure exactly. I might read all of these. That is sort of my plan at 6, and they're very, very short. So I think I could probably read them all. If I change my mind, I might do a TBR, but I doubt it. I'm just going to read from those books. But I also, on a different topic, bought at the Half Price Bookstore, I happened to see this one, Stephen Erickson's Gardens of the Moon, which is the first in the Malazan fantasy series. And this has been on my kind of wish list for a while. When I saw it at Half Price Books, I had to grab it. So this is a fantasy series, and I keep buying fantasy series. I want to get into another kind of big chunky one, and I think this is going to be great for that. So I may take this one on vacation with me too. I'm not sure. My eyes are usually bigger than my stomach, so to speak, when I'm on vacation, but we are planning to do a lot of pool time. So I plan to sit by the pool for probably 6 to 8 hours a day and read and eat and drink and just relax. So that is my plan. So I think I'm going to have time to read a lot. And then lastly, I've been reading for Jane Austen July, of course, which has just been delightful. I finished Persuasion this week, and I loved it this time. I loved it this time as much as I loved it the first time I read it, but I really didn't remember very much about it. I think what I thought I remembered was actually just things I knew about from hearing about it, not things that I actually remembered. So it was so much fun to reread that. I have a feeling I'm going to just try and finish all the Jane Austen novels this year, not this month, because obviously this month is practically over. But I enjoyed it so much, and they're such wonderful, just beautiful reads that I think I'm gonna go ahead and continue on with that. I don't know about you guys though, but with Persuasion, for those of you who've read it, this might be a little bit, well, it's not really a spoiler, but the very last chapter, it almost seems like an epilogue, where it's a really satisfying sort of romance scene. They're walking together. It's a very happy, kind of happy ending scene. And then it's just like, it removes itself from kind of being an action-oriented story to where they're talking about actually things, to just being like, okay, and then this happened, and then this happened, and then it was okay, and then Mrs. Smith was fine, and everybody lived happily ever after. And I was just kind of like, that very last section just kind of felt a little flat. It was like, oh, we got to wrap this up quick. Let's kind of finish it up in just in a chapter. And interestingly, I was thinking when I read Lady Susan, it was sort of the same thing. It was like the letters, and it was very like personal, and then it just like there was a chapter at the end where it just kind of wrapped everything up. I was like, whoa, that's a little bit odd. So if you've recently read Lady Susan or Persuasion, I wonder if you noticed the same thing, if it was jarring to you also, but it didn't take away from my enjoyment of the book. I loved it. And then I also read this week, I finished 3 Men in a Boat, which was a read-along with Mark at Book Time with Elvis, and that was the really fun reading experience too. So he had a Voxer group that he had set up where everybody was chatting about the book, and it's a very funny book. It's a very funny book. The guys, they decide to travel down the Thames in a boat, and let's just say chaos ensues, and they're hilarious. It's very, very funny. Wonderful book. So that was my reading for the week. I just had a wonderful but busy week, and I'm gonna kind of sign off now, go finish packing for my Sunday vacation, and I will talk to you later, BookTube. Bye.